between ES and NQ, NQ would give me the better risk to reward. So it respected that PD array. So in this case, ES is bullish. So NQ stayed under the daily fair value gap, bearish fair value gap, and closed near the weekly open. So this is a consolidating bullish. So even though I was initially triggered that, oh my god, I published this video and everyone's gonna see it and it's losses, I'm like, no, this is my process, right? And I'm here to share exactly how I learned. So this is how I learned. Okay, hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I decided I'm gonna make an update just about the previous video. We as traders don't only learn from wins. Majority of our lessons come from losses. So this video is just talking about that. So I think right now I'll just do a rundown of the expectations from last week. On Monday, we said that Tuesday and Wednesday looks promising. So I'm expecting Tuesday and Wednesday to give me the big move. So when I looked at the markets after, this loss, I realized that you see how Tuesday's low and Wednesday's low has divergence for ES and NQ. Okay, so if you are using ICT timing, it would be Monday and Wednesday, Monday and Wednesday. So overall, Nasdaq is the one that created a new current week low, which is underneath of that price level where I left my stop loss, and created a new one on Wednesday, while ES actually stayed above its own current week low. I'm still very dehydrated from the plane. Every time I take the plane, I feel like motivation coming into my body. Like I would write a lot of thoughts, like thoughts that are to me godly, of a higher inspirational mode. And now that I've landed, I just can't wait to record this. So thanks again for all the likes. You can see that on that last video, there are way more likes than the previous ones. Like views to likes ratio. So I can tell that you guys are really listening when I say thank you for being here with me. So once again, thank you. Okay, divergence. All right. So that is one of the main lesson. The moment I saw the loss was taken, right, I continued watching on Thursday and Friday, even though I was not participating in the markets. And I still find out that, price is still bullish in general. And I'm going to talk about it in a minute, but let me just read through a bit more of the summary. Okay, so I expected price to stay above this new week opening gap and this one. So overview right now, you can see that ES stayed above it while NQ went underneath it. So my first theory that market is bullish, and between ES and NQ, NQ would give me the better risk to reward, right? Compared to ES. In the beginning of the week, it was like somewhere around here. So it's probably like a 1:1. And then over here is like 2.8. 1:2.8, which is the better risk to reward, which was why I was leaning more towards NQ. So now I'm just going to give you an update of what happened. Like what I learned today. Okay, so basically today is Sunday update. Market has played out, and here are the observations. So ES stayed above new week opening gap and hit the target which is the previous week's high. And then the discount PD array is in play and it's bullish. So you can see that it stayed above the new week opening gap, which was the discount PD array. So it respected that PD array. So in this case, ES is bullish. So NQ stayed under the daily fair value gap, bearish fair value gap, and closed near the weekly open. So this is a consolidating bullish. What I mean by close near the weekly open is new week opening is over here, right? And then it closed right there, just here. And also it respected the daily bearish fair value gap while while disrespected the discount PD array, which is the bullish one. Okay, and then on ES, you can see that the opening is up here, while the closing is all the way up there, nearer to the previous week's high, right? So you can see what I'm talking about. And then as for DJ, it opened over here and it went all the way up and closed up there. So between these three assets, you can see that NQ was the consolidating one. So what I learned is that bullish markets give low resistance liquidity run. So you can just take it from the discount PD array into the premium PD array for both of them, like this. Even just the retracement. On Tuesday, when you see the little pullback between all three markets over here and over here, you can already take it as a discount into the premium. And right there, you actually have, what's this? H4 fair value gap. So here is a H4 fair value gap and the previous week's high. So this is a resistance turn support, and this could have been your entry into higher prices. And then consolidating market like NQ are traps for liquidity rate. So I was looking for divergence, right? And then both ES and NQ are the ones with least resistance because they're also the ones nearest to previous week's high. So because of the risk to reward, I went into a consolidating market that is less. So because of the risk to reward, I actually went into a market that is less likely because I'm gonna get more paid out. So basically, I went into NQ because it promises a higher risk to reward while ignoring the other two market that has low resistance liquidity run just because of the risk to reward. So isn't this a perfect lesson for people who are constantly out there trying to look for trades, good risk to reward? Here are some 1:1 or 1:2 kind of trades that would have played out, like 70% of the time, while NASDAQ could have potentially only played out 30% of the time. So here are the action steps that I will take moving forward. While I know that NQ is the one that gets manipulated more and is most likely going to be the one that gives me the divergence, I will use it as an indicator to counter, to compare between the other two markets. You can also put more like criteria in place, for example, trading only after the news. In the beginning of the week, we already know that Tuesday and Wednesday is going to give us the big move, right? So don't place a trade before that. Wait until the news has played out and then go into the market and look for it. So let's say if I was to come back to the market on Wednesday and see that this divergence has already occurred, right? And ES is the preferred trade because it did not sweep out the liquidity lows and stayed intact with its bullish PD array. Then I can go into the smaller time frame and look for entries. So this is what we'll do right now. Okay, so once you have that confirmation of the divergence, you can then go into the smaller time frame and be like, this is what I expect, here's how I'm going to place the entry. And then this is where you learn also. So on the H1 time frame, you can see that there's a fair value gap over here, right? So after the perfect reversal, higher on New York, on Asian session, we can see that price opened with a H1 fair value gap. And then on Thursday, like we said, Thursday was bank holiday, so nothing much happened. But it did tap into that H1 fair value gap. And then on Friday, you can see that during New York session, it tapped on that same bullish fair value gap. So target remains the same. And then stop loss underneath this previous day's low, because we are assuming that this low will stay intact. And then this will be a 1:1.68 trade. I think the message of this video is to really remind us that trading is not 100% win. If you want content out there that is 100% win, you have to create it yourself because there's none out there. And we learn from both wins and losses. How would you make a stronger person if he has never failed before? I have friends who trade like 6-figure accounts on signal services, so they constantly double like margin 100% and all that, and just one loss wipe them out. So that is to me like a newbie mindset, because all traders know how to deal with losses. If you don't know how to deal with losses, like this is not for you. But if you're ready to take on this challenge, it can teach you a lot of other things that will overflow into all other aspects of your life. I think I would do an update if my voice comes back. I need to drink more water. Hopefully today, if not, I'll do it on Tuesday. And then I'll try my best to upload as soon as possible. So one more thing about the funded challenge giveaway. I want to know what you guys consider when you're thinking of joining a prop firm. So leave it down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you can know when my next video is out. All these are time sensitive, and I've read through some of the comments that says it helped them with their own charts, especially now with ICT doing indices, right? So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. I'm so happy to be back to Singapore. I was, at this engagement party of my friend, and it's really crazy rich Asian style. It's so amazing. I'm now like more motivated to work. So these are the kind of friends you want around you, you just feel inspired every time you meet them. They're just doing their own thing and you're like, wow, you're so in flow. I want to be as in flow with my work as you are with yours, even though it's not the same thing. So it's like you can love people from different industries just by how they are thriving. Anyway.